Hey everyone, Optrel Jeff here, and today I'd like to quickly go over our IsoFit headgear and its adjustability. IsoFit is one of the two styles of headgear that you'll find in an Optrel helmet, and it's the only style of headgear in the world that completely wraps around the crown of your head with multiple touch points. Really what that translates to is a more customized fit. You know, if you're someone like me with a larger head, you're going to really appreciate the adjustability on this thing. What I'd like to show you specifically is how to properly adjust this headgear once you first receive it and try it on. You know, a lot of times people will receive this headgear when they first purchase it and just throw it on their head, and they might complain that they're not getting that, you know, customized snug fit that I'm talking about. And 9 times out of 10, it's because they didn't adjust the headgear when they first got it on. You really need to do that in order to get the snug fit. I'll show you exactly how to adjust this headgear and how simple it is. All right, so for demonstration purposes, I'm going to show you how to adjust the IsoFit headgear outside of the helmet. But just as a reference, this is what the IsoFit looks like once it's attached to the helmet, locked, loaded, and ready to go. Adjusting the IsoFit headgear is extremely simple, and you only have to do it once. Really, there's 4 points of adjustability on this headpiece, so you're going to find adjustability on the back, the front, the left, and the right sides of the headpiece. Looking at the back here, you're going to see a set of what looks like belt notches and 2 little balls that are attached to this back piece. So depending on how high or low you want this back piece here sitting on the back of your head, you're going to move it up or down a couple notches. Same thing with the front of the headgear. Depending on where you want this front piece sitting on the front of your head, you're going to move it up or down a couple notches. So for someone who has a larger head like myself, I like to have both the front and the back piece sitting a little bit lower on my head. So I'm using these lower notches here on both the back and the front. It would be the opposite if you have a smaller head. But again, you'd have to play around with it. It's all personal preference. The adjustability on the left and right sides both look the same. So this is a pretty important piece of adjustability because it determines how high or low the headgear sits within your helmet. So I'll pop this piece off, which is what holds the headgear to the helmet. And you'll see 2 sets of notches here. So where you place this piece on this system of notches is going to determine how high or low the headpiece sits. So if I want the headpiece sitting a little bit lower in the helmet, I'd place this higher up. If I want the headpiece sitting a little bit higher in the helmet, I'd place this on the lower notches. It's as simple as just finding the notch you want, pressing it in, and you're good to go. It's important to note that you want, you know, where the placement of this piece on the left and right side to match up. Otherwise, it'll be lopsided within the helmet. Again, it's just that one-time adjustability, and then once you have that in place, really the only ongoing piece of adjustability is this back piece here. It's this little knob. And what this knob does is when you turn it to the right, it collapses the headgear around the crown of your head to get that snug fit. If you tighten it up too much or want to take the headgear off, just pull the knob to the left and it frees up that headgear for you. So it's really simple. Again, it's personal preference on where you want the headgear sitting on your head, so it's worth playing around with to get that snug fit. One last thing I'd like to reiterate again is that Optrel does offer 2 different styles of headgear. So again, we had the IsoFit, which we just went over. I'd say about 95% of people love it because of the comfort, the fit, and the adjustability, but there's always going to be some people that don't like it. So for those that don't, we do offer the more traditional style headgear, and this is what you're used to seeing on most helmets out there. It's all personal preference. So I'd like to thank you for watching this video, and we'd encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you don't miss any of the educational content that we come out with. We'll see you soon. Thanks again.